Okay, so welcome everyone. This is Build Your Furniture Dream Team with me, Heather McManus, founder and CEO of the Designers Collaborative. I think I have a quick little quiz for us to do while we wait for people to sign in. And here we go. All right, so I think that you guys are all able to see this. If you're watching the recording for some reason, it doesn't show it to you. So the first question is, how many TDC members are here? So I will see what the answers are. The next question is, how many years have you been in the design business? The next question is, how do you feel um, like you have a good go-to vendor list to source from? Like, are you feeling somewhat confident on your sourcing? Do you feel like you've got a good list of go-to vendors you use on a regular basis, or you don't even know where to start? How comfortable are you with what you're sourcing from currently? Was that question. And the last question is, what is most important to you? Is it price point? Is it quality? Is it lead time? What about sustainability or made in America or all of the above? So it'll be interesting to see the answers as they come through. Okay, so it looks like a lot of you are already TDC members. That's awesome. Welcome. When we have an average of 5 to 10 years in business. Okay, and somebody says they don't know where to begin with sourcing. So we're going to point you in some good directions here. And then what's important to you? We have price point, quality, and lead time. So those are what is important to people who have voted. So I'm going to go ahead and close the poll and share results. I think that this shares the results with you. If you're watching the recording for some reason, it doesn't pop up on the screen. So hopefully you can see the answers that came through. So I'm going to begin sharing my screen in just a second to get into the Build Your Furniture Dream Team. But I just want to let you know that I have more upcoming webinars that are all free. So in November 13th, we are doing behind the scenes of a buying group. So if you are already a member of the Designers Collaborative, you already know how it works. So no need to attend that one. But if you are unfamiliar with behind the scenes of a buying group, by all means, join that one and find out. Then in December 11th, we are doing the pros and cons of COM. It's a really good one. So it's just one of those things that problems come up, so that's why I made the whole webinar on like the things that I've seen happen with COM, because there's definitely good pros and there's definitely some cons you have to look out for with using COM. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get this started. Okay, here we are. So this is Build Your Furniture Vendor Dream Team. Okay, about Heather McManus. So after graduating with my BFA from Pratt Institute, I gradually learned my way through the interior design industry. I worked for a window treatment workroom, an upholstery workroom, furniture stores, and all that before starting my own design firm, Artistry Interiors LLC. I've been featured in local and national magazines, starred on TV's Home Smarts, and been on a guest on several design podcasts, including A Well-Designed Business. I also wrote and published a book called Love Where You Live, Dream Homes Made Real, and that is available on Amazon. Um, but the accomplishment that I am most proud of is being the founder and CEO of the Designers Collaborative. I created TDC because I needed it for myself after losing an ideal client who internet shopped me. I love helping designers flourish with creative freedom and amazing profits. So a little bit about TDC. The Designers Collaborative helps interior designers make greater profit through vendors while providing tools, learning, and community. TDC provides access to hundreds of the most popular vendors at the best price. So members make more on every order they place. A member once told me that her TDC membership tripled her profits, generating her kids' college tuition. This is why we do what we do. So what you'll learn proven strategies to identify and partner with vendors who align with your client's style and budget while ensuring healthy profit margins for your firm. Discover how to streamline sourcing and make confident, profitable choices for every project. Who is this for? Interior designers struggling to find reliable, high-quality vendors that meet both client expectations and business goals. When it comes to sourcing, you want variety and you need the best price tiers. You should trust the vendors and know their products. Things to look out for. So quality, price point, where it ships from, where it's made. These can be very different. It could be that it is made overseas, like a lot of Uttermost is, but it could be warehoused in a couple different places in the United States. I know Uttermost has a East Coast and a West Coast warehouse. So even though it's made overseas, it may be shipping from somewhere much more local. You want to keep in mind lead times, which vary greatly. Is it sustainable? This is becoming a much more important thing for clients these days. It's not just a buzzword. It really does start to matter to people, which is nice, I think. And then do they offer a variety of styles and products? So one vendor might carry all different things like Uttermost, like we said, has upholstery, it has case goods, it has accessories, it has art, it has lighting. Just that one vendor covers so many different product styles and categories that if you opened an account with that one vendor, you have a lot covered for you. Whereas if you open an account with a company that just does custom upholstery, then that's all you have from them. And it tends to be something where you need a variety of different vendors to meet all of these different needs. So we want you to have a good, better, best option for every category to give yourself creative freedom. And the categories are upholstery, case goods, lighting, rugs, accessories, outdoor, bedding, kitchen and bath, baby and kids. And there's probably even more in there too. But those are your basics. So you want to have a good, better, and best option for all of these because your go-to vendor or your go-to clients might be, the bulk of your client might be in a medium price point, but every once in a while, you could wind up with a really high-end client that's going to need a more elevated vendor to source from. And likewise, it could be that suddenly they're on a strict budget and this new client, or even the same client who wants to suddenly furnish the guest bedroom or the basement, those aren't, the top level high-end vendors. So you need something in the lower price point. So ultimately, if you want real creative freedom, you need good, better, best options in all of these different categories. So values and customer service. Work with vendors who value your business and you as a designer. All vendors say that they value designers, but many don't act like it. And that's when you find out how they really feel. Customer service is so important. Damages and issues are going to happen. It's how they deal with it that makes the difference. If a company has a lot of issues and handles them poorly, then this is not a vendor you want to order from again. If you have issues, but they make it right without you having to talk them into it, then keep working with them. No one likes damages. It costs everyone time, money, and hassle. A good vendor takes note of the issue and finds a better packaging method or shipping company for the future. They don't want to deal with issues that would keep happening either. So ask yourself the following questions. This is meant to hone in on who your ideal clients are and what you personally are looking for. So, what is my ideal client's price point? And they do vary, right? Sometimes that high-end client also wants some budget options. So, but what in general are you looking for? Are you looking high? Are you looking medium? Are you looking low? Do I need multiple vendors for the summer house plus their regular home? Or perhaps it's the finished basement and the guest rooms in addition to the main living spaces. So this is again kind of a budget question where if if a client's willing to spend a lot of money on their regular home, they probably aren't going to look to spend as much in the summer house. And that could vary. And then certain rooms of the house have different priorities for your budget as well. Another question is, what is my design style? Do I have a signature look or do I enjoy designing more individually for each client? And I think a lot of designers will say, I design based on what my client says. Of course you do. You are this is your job. You hone in on what your clients want. You dig in on it. You're asking all the juicy questions and you're pulling that out of them. And so I think no matter whether you think you have a signature style or not, you are going to listen to your client and design based on what feedback you get. But I think a lot of designers do have a style and they don't realize it. So it's something that you want to ask a friend about. After you've photographed a bunch of different projects, ask someone with fresh eyes to look at your style and say, "Oh, I see that you use a lot of neutral tones and it's all very soft and subtle. And every so often, maybe you have a pop of color here." Or maybe someone will say, wow, you use a lot of pattern and I love how it all came together, but I would never think to use that much pattern. Like the example that I have in this photo, we've got a bold stripe fabric, we've got bold printed chairs, we've got pattern on the pillows, and then we have bold artwork. So somebody might say, oh, well, this I feel is kind of on the bolder side and it's very comfortable using pattern. So it may not be like you have the buzzword of, oh, this is boho chic or any of the trends, right? It may just be your signature style that you need to define for yourself. It's going to help you with narrowing things down and also knowing yourself. And then another question is, what matters to my ideal client? Is it sustainability, quality, price, or all of the above? For some clients, price is it, and that's it. For some clients, it's price end quality. They don't want to buy crap that's going to fall apart. They want it to last, but they don't want to spend a lot. And then, the sustainability is becoming a lot more popular with people. Okay. How do you find your go-to vendors? Research and learn by attending furniture markets. So here I have outlined the big hitters. So High Point Furniture Market is something that happens twice a year. It is spring, always April, and fall, October. So you have two opportunities every single year to attend this particular market. There's one coming up next week. I can't believe how fast it's gotten here. And I'm definitely prepared, but it's always like the last minute packing and just being away. But it is absolutely worth your time and energy. It is the biggest one of all of these listed here. So then there's the Las Vegas market, which happens in summer and winter, so July or January. Again, you have two different markets every year to choose from. So if, you live on the West Coast, this may be the easier one for you to get to. But keep in mind that they really don't have a lot of bigger furniture items like upholstery. They may have some case good vendors show there, but it's more I would say accessories, lighting, rugs. Those companies show tons at the Vegas market. But for the bigger items, High Point is really the best one to go to. And it's the same for the Atlanta market, which also has summer and winter shows in July and January. So if you're on the East Coast and you're looking for a smaller market to start with, or, you happen to have a client and you need to be sourcing right then, the Atlanta market might be the right one for you. But again, just like Vegas, they don't have a lot of the bigger furniture pieces. It's High Point that those vendors really show at. They spend a lot of money doing these shows and they can't afford to be everywhere. So High Point is where they really put their big dollars. So Vegas and Atlanta, you've got smaller items. The Dallas market, I have never been to, but and you got to check their calendar because there is definitely a couple that happen throughout the year, and I think it may vary. It's a little bit flakier than the set days and times that the other shows have. Um, the Dallas market also does a whole special thing on lighting. So if you are really honing in on your lighting companies, um, Texas is the place to go for lighting. And you just need to do a little Google search to see when those shows happen. Now, if you are looking to expand into international companies, the Paris Maison Object show happens in September and January. January is their bigger push for lots more furniture vendors that do show up at the show itself. But in September, you've got smaller tabletop type items at the big trade show. However, in Paris itself, outside of the official trade show, there are showrooms that you can wander through during design week and get sneak peeks of this happens to in the photo here. This is one of those hand painted mural wallpapers from an amazing company. And I went a couple years ago. I can't wait to go again. I will be going the September of 2026. It is a wonderful way to get to Paris and write it off. Will you find sourcing? Yeah, I bet you will, but it tends to be more of the boutique, higher end quality pieces, really unique stuff for your sourcing needs. But these shows are how you get to touch, feel, sit on it, take notes, and process and identify who you're drawn to, what price point is meeting your needs, what what styles they have that go with all of those things. So seeing it in person is the absolute best. Okay, so I am throwing another field trip to the Pennsylvania furniture shows that happen. So right now we are all dealing with a lot of tariff news, and anyone who has been reading anything in the headlines, you know that tariffs are a thing. They are starting to really affect the prices of everything that we are sourcing. So this is even more pressing for, I think, designers to attend. So I do TDC trips. This is the Made in America Furniture Tour. So all are welcome. Discover furniture vendors you never knew about, all made 100% in America. These quality vendors don't show anywhere else. How wonderful to be able to avoid tariffs and have custom choices in solid wood construction. And you get to choose the wood species as well as the finish and paint options. The all-inclusive trip includes 2 nights to a beautiful hotel, all of your meals, plus all the transportation locally and all the tickets to all the show events. We will visit the trade show. We're going to tour to see firsthand how furniture is made. If you've never done it, it's really good. It gives you a much better appreciation for what goes into how furniture is made. We're also going to go antiquing and so much more. It was really fun. We kicked it off last year, and the people who went were just floored at the quality and price point that these furniture makers have available, and the fact that they make it completely easy for you to open your own account with them. It's not like a lot of the vendors that do show at High Point where you have to make a high minimum just to open an account, and you got to keep those high minimums every year going. A few of these vendors at the PA show might work that way, but a lot of them have, like, if you want to buy one end table, they will sell you one end table at their wholesale stocking dealer pricing. So it makes it really attractive on top of being able to choose what finish and paint option, what hardware you want to put on something. And it's all made in Pennsylvania, in America. So it's a great trip. I am planning to put out the details of this trip very soon. I don't have it nailed down quite yet. So when I send everyone the recording of this, I will make sure to include a list that you can put yourself on saying that you are interested to find out more. And when I have this all nailed down, I will make sure I include you in the invite. Okay, so you can hit the easy button and join the Designers Collaborative and gain access to over 300 vendors at the best price tiers with tons of free tools that help you learn about brands and that meet your needs, saving you time so you don't fall down the rabbit hole. We have every category in every price point and in every style. We have you covered for all of these things. It's very difficult for a solo entrepreneur or even a small firm, even a large firm, to maintain the stocking dealer price on so many different vendors that you could need for your projects. And if you're not buying it at the best price tier, the internet is gonna kill you. They can beat your price and give away free shipping that will only annoy your client and make them not trust you. I have been there. That is the whole reason that I started the Designers Collaborative to begin with. Getting shopped by an ideal client that blew the whole project up, it was an eye opener. And I started an entire second business because of it. So it really is hitting the easy button. When you join, getting 300 different vendors at the best price tier means you have creative freedom in all of the categories, in every price point, and all of the styles right at your fingertips. So tools that only the Designer Collaborative provides. I make these things because I see the need for them, and we get enough questions and requests that we have created so many amazing tools in our Google shared drive. So the vendor list and ultimate source guide is an amazing tool that will save you time because we've broken it down. We have the first page is literally A to Z, the alphabetical order of all 300 vendors with a lot of information on that one spreadsheet. And then we break it down further with the categories. So we've got upholstery, case goods, lighting, rugs, accessories, outdoor, and so on and so forth. We break them down in each page and then high, medium, and low price point. And then if there's a style that they're known for, we break it down even further with that. So then another tool that we have is the custom sofa price comparison, where I went through and I priced every single custom sofa vendor that we offer in their lowest grade, which can be a grade A or a COM or whatever they call it. So I went through and priced all of them to see where they are compared to each other. So you know, you know, where Vanguard lies next to Bassett, next to Row. You can see in this one spreadsheet, in this one list, how they compare to each other. We have a good, better, best guide. We also have a who really makes it list, which is pretty amazing. It started because our clients receive these magazines in the mail, the Pottery Barn, the Restoration Hardware, all of these things, right? So, and they come to you and they say, I think this is the solution. And you're like, ugh, okay. If you're really sold on it, let me see what I can do. Well, those companies don't make that furniture. They source that furniture from the same vendors we use. So we started a whole list of who really makes it. So if you're looking for a Pottery Barn sofa, chances are it's one of these three companies because that's who they use to source it. So it's a great tool. There's a comprehensive guide to vendors. There's the online resources with trade programs. There's everything shipping, receiving, and delivery guide, and so many more tools. I won't go into all of them, but we are always making new, different tools that we see a need for. Okay, so I'm going to open this up for questions. And if you want to contact us to find out more, our website has lots of information. It's thedesignerscollaborative.com. You can request a vendor list from there, or just, type into the contact form about, general questions. Our phone number is listed here. And if you have any questions that you want to email us directly, admin@thedesignerscollaborative.com. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can take your questions. Okay. There are two different ways to do questions. You can put them into the chat and hopefully I will catch all of them, or you can use the button that's Q&A. It's a little bit more organized for me, but I can pop back and forth to either one, and all of your questions are fair game. All right, so Melinda says, I plan to source my current project through TDC, but I will be attending High Point and would like to visit the showrooms for my preferred vendors. How do I respond when they discuss how I will be ordering and sourcing? Excellent question. Hold on one second. Okay. So this is a great question because I think all right. So when you go into a showroom, it may depend on whether or not they will give you a designer account right away. There is no reason for you to not have a designer account on your own if you want one. So I would go in curious. You say, I don't have an account with you yet. I would like to find out if you're a good match for me, if you are in budget, if you are in style for what I generally source from. And so if you could just tell me how you work, that would be great. So be curious, ask questions. You don't have to tell them that you are buying from any particular place in particular at all, ever. Like you don't owe them that. So just be curious and ask them. If you want to get your own designer discount with, like, let's just say Universal, because they have a designer program, you can have that account for yourself and just order samples. And if you want to get a relationship going with your sales rep, you can throw them a sale every once in a while and keep your account open in that way. Or if you don't want to do that, you don't want to mess with it, you don't want to have a sales rep be asking you questions, just say, I tend to order from a local showroom near me, or I'll order it online. Um, that's usually a very acceptable answer, because designers have many different ways in which they can purchase. Not all of them will make you the most money, of course, but if you keep it very general, that's a good way to go about it. Okay, so then there's another question. I do have designer accounts, but I know your pricing is far better. It is. A great example would be Vanguard. Okay, Vanguard is a tough one. All of these vendors are, they're running their own business and they have their own philosophies. So Vanguard is a very like you're not welcome here kind of a vendor. I have gone in without an appointment and had to beg to just go and look at their furniture. They're very Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I would say I'm curious. I'm probably going to purchase through a design center near me. Um, can I please come in and see? I have a project I'm working on. I want to sit on it. They may not have this frame on their floor. Can I please just come in and see all of your furniture? But if there is like, I know I want this, I would make an appointment with the sales rep if you can. And your sales rep may be too busy. So they hire locals who just live in the area. They don't know a lot about the company. They may have been giving like an hour little tutorial of like, here's the furniture. If they ask this question, just tell them to email whoever. And those people generally will walk you around if you're not like a big showroom that buys from them all the time. Vanguard is tough that way. So you may get walked around by one of the local people that just happen to work there for the weekend or the week or whatever it is. But yeah, if they ask you any questions, keep it real vague and general and say, I'm probably going to purchase from a local showroom, and you can do a little research and like, or say like, who do you recommend? And just be like, okay, on how you respond to that. Great question. Thank you, Melinda. Any other questions that I can answer for anybody here? You can certainly ask, like, I love mid-century modern. Who has mid-century modern? I will do my best to remember all the vendors that have those categories, that style for you. Sometimes my brain works really well and I can rattle everybody off, like all the different vendors, but sometimes I go into like, oh, I remember, but it's not coming to me, right? So feel free to ask any of the questions of like, who would you source from if fill in the blank, right? Any of those kind of questions are completely fair game. Okay. Another question is, can we reach out to the account holder if we have a question about a certain vendor instead of reaching out to the rep? Absolutely. We much prefer you go always through the account holder. If you have an account with a company and you're asking that sales rep questions, you should give him that order, because that poor guy works on commission and he's not going to make any money for the time he spends with you. That goes true with any sales reps or sales staff that work in retail showrooms. They all work commission. So if you're going to go there and sit on things and ask them questions, you should give them that sale. But if you are just going to High Point and finding everything out yourself, than ordering through the account holder. The account holder will help you with lots of your questions. Also, the Facebook group has a great way to find out a lot of things too, because we're all buying from these companies. So somebody may say, oh, yeah, I bought the Alexandra chair too, and I found it firm but comfortable. And, you know, they can give you real life examples that may be helpful. So the Facebook group is a great way to ask questions and find out lots of information because there's 500 of us with all of our experience. Okay, we have a question from Ben. Can you recommend contemporary vendors that has a good customer service? Oh, okay. Um, Good customer service and contemporary. For high-end, I really like Century and Hickory Chair. Um, Guy Chaddock is another one. Those are great. With the Designers Collaborative, you don't necessarily have to worry so much about the customer service because the account holder is going to have to deal with that for you. Um, So it's not as imperative as when you are dealing with it yourself. Contemporary, let's see, who else? Um, I mean, like Uttermost has some really nice stuff in the occasional kind of contemporary, and it's such a good price point and they make it easy. So I would say them. Who else? Oh, okay. Sunpan. Sunpan is a fantastic company. I feel like they're low to medium in their price point and very contemporary in their look and feel. Um, Four Hands is very popular. Um, their customer service, you won't have to deal with it as a person ordering. The account holder has to deal with it, and they've probably worked out a good relationship with their sales rep, or even if the company's a little dysfunctional sometimes, that sales rep knows how to get through the system to get them what they need. So as a TDC member, you don't have to worry about customer service as much, but those are some of my recommendations for contemporary vendors. And I'm sure that there are a ton more. Um, I have never ordered from whatchamacallit, Bernhardt, but they are also another one, really great. And they've just opened a whole new showroom that's enormous. So if I'm going to be going to their party at High Point and taking a look at everything. Okay, next question is, who are your favorite sources to source quality dining tables for transitional dining rooms? Great question. So transitional, it means to me cleaner lines, right? It's a little simpler, right? We don't have inlays, we don't have um, bookmark mahogany, none of that, right? It's a cleaner line. And so a lot of it depends on the finish that you choose. So my go-to is Zimmerman chair or Gat Creek. I also like Canadel. All three of those are great companies, and they have really a lot of different styles. They can definitely lean towards more traditional, but if you do like a real dark ebony finish on something, it's going to have a much cleaner look to it. Or a really light blonde finish. It could have a real crisp kind of contemporary transitional finish to it. So a lot of it depends on the finishes that you choose. And all three of those companies have hundreds of finishes and painted finishes to choose from as well. Another one actually is Bassett Furniture. They have a whole made in America. Well, actually, there's some of it's made in America, some of it's overseas from Bassett. Like a build your own dining, and it's really good pricing. And it's they might have like six different finishes to choose from and lots of options. So those are some of my go-tos. But again, there's tons out there. If you want something that's slightly more modern, I think the Century, the Hickory chair, the Gat Creek, if you've got the budget for it. Otherwise, who else could I name off? Uh, yeah, the Sunpan again is another great one. I'm like going through all the different showrooms in my head, and so, who has some unique stuff is Surya, um, and also Sareed. Sareed has some really unique things. So it could be like that just right vendor for you. Okay, another question is, I know you're a fan of Masad furniture. What is their level and why do you like them? That's a great question. Um, well, a lot of reasons that I like Masad. One, they're totally cool with the Designers Collaborative. They 100% know Chuck Masad is the sweetest guy, and so they're 100% cool with TDC. Another reason I like them, they've got really beautiful frames and really nice fabrics and high quality without it being really high pricing. I own the stuff in my own house, so I have the real life experience of sitting on it every day, and it wears beautifully. Um, I have no complaints whatsoever about them. Every once in a while, there'll be an issue, and they solve it so quickly. So they're just an all-around good company for, I would say, a middle of the road price point. They will, of course, wind up going higher end if you're picking like a grade 92 fabric. But if you're in like the 20, 30 range fabrics, it's a mid price point. And they have all kinds of customization stuff that all of the companies do. They can do a design of nail heads wrapped around that ottoman. They can do baseball stitching on the cushion, or welt or contrast, or like all the different bells and whistles. But all of the custom upholstery companies are great at that, and they're all great. I don't I happen to be the account holder, so you're going to hear me talking about them more because I know way more about them and I've priced them more often. So I'm just more comfortable with them. But we have so many amazing companies. Wesley Hall is an amazing company, and Cheryl is amazing, and Ambella. Oh my God, everything I sit in Ambella. That's another company. Okay, here's another one that popped into my head for more contemporary lines is Ambella. And Ambella is a great company because they have amazingly comfortable upholstery. Like they think about the pitch. The pitch is how you lean back. They think about that like no other company I have sat on. They think about this cushion, this spring on this thing, so that each piece is always comfortable. Like I can't say enough good things about their upholstery. Then you have their case good line, which is really fun. It's very funky and different and fun and contemporary. So it would mix in with a lot of different stuff. And then on top of that, they also have all these amazing bathroom vanities that are like the furniture piece that you just plop in there instead of it being like cabinetry. So, and they'll sell it with just the base cabinet, or you can buy the granite top that they've put with it, and the sink and the things. But they'll sell it all those different ways. So I think Embell is also a really great company. Okay, do we have any more questions? All of these questions are great, by the way. And there is nothing like going to High Point to sit on it yourself, experience it. Um, if you are going this coming next week, craziness, I have a couple events. So for TDC members and your friends, you are welcome to bring a friend. We are doing the happy hour dinner party at a local tavern. It's within like the Hamilton Run District, like 1 block from where all the showrooms are. So it's super convenient. You can walk there. And it's all free. So you get 2 drinks and dinner for free. I hope it's going to be well attended because it's a great way to connect and meet each other in person and just chat about all the things. And then there is, I am doing the Art of the Sit. So that is at JP Home, which is on Main Street in High Point. And this is like a really, really cool panel discussion with a demonstration. So we're going to have 2 completely different chairs with different, I'm sorry, 2 exactly the same chair with totally different fabrics on them. So same chair, different fabric, and one is going to be like a tight weave and one is going to be a looser weave. And you're going to see just how different they sit based on fabric alone. So same exact chair, same exact fill, how the fabric influences the sit of that. And the whole panel discussion is about the sit test. It's about what makes something comfortable because the fabric has a lot to say in the process of that. And we think, oh, it's the cushion. It's, I chose the one with the springs so that it has a little bit more, you know, squishiness, but it's still going to keep its shape because we didn't want to do the down where it gets all fluffed down and you got to build it back up and like beat your pillows up every day. But the fabric actually has quite a bit of to say in how something's going to sit. So we have a great panel of experts, and I've never seen a topic like this done before at High Point, and I think it's one of those really important ones. There's also going to be lunch and free gifts. So it's one you want to attend Monday, 11 a.m. at JP Home. I don't know if it has made the app yet, but if you guys don't know, get on the app and go get it on your phone and make sure you download the app so that you can move around High Point and keep yourself organized. All right, I don't see any other questions. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, there is one. Okay, so she says, I didn't see Lazar on the list. Is there any chance TDC will be adding them? They're super designer friendly and seem to cater to dealers. I don't know that company. So let me go and look really quickly. Um, it could be, if we look on the list, one where we say open your own account because they don't have too many price points. Like it may be a one price point kind of vendor, and maybe that's why we're not listing it, or maybe just no one has something they can offer. Lazar. I don't see them on that list. Let me just make sure they're not on our main A to Z list. Oh, we do have them. They are stocking dealer. Um, it's yeah, it's on offer. It is on the main list. And I'm not going to say in this who our account holder is, but you can find it as a member on the A to Z list. So we do have them. Uh, so that's good news. She says, yay. Yes, always good news. Okay. Well, if you guys, since a lot of you are members, if you have any further questions about like who makes the great vendor that does blah, 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 feel free to put it in the Facebook group. We will answer your questions. So I hope everyone has a great day. I hope you got something out of this, and tune in for our next series where so November is behind the scenes of a buying group. December is pros and cons of using COM. And they're all free. And if you go on to Eventbrite, you can follow the Designers Collaborative, and you will just then see all of the different events that we do throughout the year. And I will continue doing these things in 2026 as well. So that's everything, guys. I hope you have a really great day, and I hope to see you on our next webinar. Okay, bye.